Welcome to the latest episode of the Informing Choices mini-pod. To start the new year, I'm speaking to 6 futurist friends of the podcast to explore their thoughts on which technologies, ideas and developments that emerge in 2023 will have proven to be significant when we look back from 2033 in 10 years' time. In this, the second of 6 episodes in this New Year mini-series, we'll explore how we might come to consider a different view of narrow and general AI. One of the most persistent ideas about artificial intelligence is that there's a clear distinction between what many commentators refer to as narrow AI and the goal of more general artificial intelligence. But there is evidence to suggest that a new perspective would be helpful in fostering balanced discussion on the technology's evolution now. The progress in the development of AI with wider application begs the question, is 2023 about to become a turning point in the public conversation about the incredible potential of the technologies? I'm delighted to welcome back futurist speaker, analyst, commentator and author, David Wood, to the podcast. David, how might we look back from 2033 to what was a significant development in 2023 about how we regard the potential of AI?
I think from the perspective of the future, people may pick out 2 trends that were increasingly significant in 2023. And these trends can be summarized by the words broad, that's something new in between narrow and general. And secondly, combination. So to speak first about broad AI, I think the old division, which served us well, which guided so many conversations, is breaking down. That was the distinction between the excellent narrow systems of AI that we have today, each AI being well suited to a particular task, whether it's guiding us from point A to point B on a map, taking account of traffic conditions, or playing a game of chess, or interpreting what's in a photograph. AIs could do all of that, but if you asked an AI to do more than it was narrowly set up to do, it would fail. So if you had a chess-playing AI and you asked it to speculate on the psychological state of its opponent, it would say, "What? I don't understand. This does not compute."
Yep.
And it was imagined that at some stage in the future, we will have some incredible breakthrough that will allow us to have general AI that, as we humans can do, can flip between multiple reasoning modes. We can play chess, and at the same time, we can tie our shoelaces. We can speculate about our opponent's psychological state, and we can also look outside and wonder about the beauty of the sun in the fields. Now, AIs could not do such general things presently, but that has changed. It's been changing for a number of years, and 2022, 2023, I think, is the breakthrough. And I think we might need a new term for this. So I'm suggesting broad AI. That's an AI that can do multiple tasks immediately without any retraining. And it also refers to AIs that have been trained in a general sense and then can very quickly be readapted by what people call one-shot learning or few-shot learning, so that it can learn something brand new, much the same as we humans do. After all, we humans were given instincts by evolution to be good at certain skills, but we're also able, with some effort, to pick up brand new skills that evolution didn't foresee, like how to drive a car or how to operate a laptop keyboard.
Is one of the kind of examples of this broadening of AI, this fast learning, perhaps the transition from DeepMind's AlphaGo to AlphaGo Zero, where there was a sudden increase in the capability of the AI to play the game Go at a much higher level?
Well, quite so. First of all, the initial AlphaGo was targeted at one task, which was how to learn how to play the game of Go better and better. And over quite a long period of time, maybe 18 months, it gradually got better and better. Then the learning mechanism was changed, and so that it no longer relied on the best games that humans had played. It was able to teach itself via an improved feedback mechanism. And in just a short period of time, this new version, Alpha Zero, was playing Go even better than the previous one had been, and that already had outperformed the human champions. But the most remarkable thing happened next, which is when slight changes were made to the software, and within just a few hours, it wasn't playing Go anymore, it was playing shoji, Japanese chess, or with another slight variant, it was playing normal chess. That's Indian or Arabic chess, the chess which is well known in the Western world. And it, in just a few hours, had learned to play better than any of the software into which 70 years of human software engineering talent had gone to play wonderful software chess. So there was an example of one piece of software, one piece of AI that was very quickly able to do new things. Now, it was still within the same general category, which was it was games with particular characteristics. The rules were different, but the definition was quite similar. What's happened more remarkably since then is software like DeepMind's Gato, which I understand is the Spanish word for cat. And it was given the ability to do 604 different tasks without any retraining. And these included tasks as varied as captioning pictures, manipulating blocks in the real world into different arrangements, conducting chats with the audience, and also playing all kinds of different games. And so it wasn't just one type of intelligence, it was multiple types of intelligence. So that again is a step towards broader AI. But finally, as I've said, the new software isn't just limited to maybe 604 tasks it was pre-trained to do. It is now able, with just being shown one new example, to say, all right, this is what you're trying to do. I can mimic that, drawing on its general understanding of language and principles about the real world. So this isn't yet general artificial intelligence. It's not yet as fully generally intelligent with as much common sense, say, as much adaptability as humans, but it's a lot further than people had expected. And it breaks down that old distinction, as I've said.
From what you've said there, it sounds like it's a really important distinction for people to understand, given the potential, particularly the more, I suppose, dystopian potential of some of these technologies. So if we are looking back from 2033, how might we recognize the way that this broad AI has changed the way we live and work?
Well, we're quickly going to see creative people, that's writers, designers, illustrators, adapting their work to include this new AI. It's not yet that AI and robots are going to put human illustrators and journalists out of work, but it's going to be the case that human illustrators and journalists who don't fully understand the latest AI will be put out of work by those who do understand the latest AI and who can quickly adapt to it and can quickly find out how to get the best out of it. Because the design graphic software, which has become very well known in the last few months of 2022, still sometimes is a bit awkward to use, and people who know the right words to whisper to it, we talk about prompt whispering as a strange new career, strange new skill. If you can whisper the right words to your AI, it can produce wonderful pictures. And then it's the combination of that human skills and the latest AI skills. But that combination is going to keep moving. And that brings me to the other big trend I think is important, combination. And here I don't just mean combination of human and AI, it's combination of different AIs working together. And some of the mistakes that our large language models are making at the end of 2022, when text is produced that superficially looks very plausible and convincing, but when you dig into it, it's just got errors of fact. It's got what people call hallucinations. Books are made up, journal articles are made up that don't exist, and if you're not careful, you'll be misled by it. So people are saying, well, this is no use, is it? But what will be useful is when two AIs are combined, one that generates the candidates and another one that quickly evaluates, quickly does the fact checking in the way that humans are presently doing. When you put that together, you're going to get AIs that produce wonderful text, which no longer needs anything like the same fact checking from humans, because an AI will have done that fact checking. So it's the combinations that will lead us more quickly than people had expected to reaching closer and closer to general artificial intelligence and to changes in all people's careers rather than just a few careers.
I mean, what's really fascinating for me there are particularly two things. One is, we've been talking about digital literacy, I suppose, for a good time now, but it seems part of what you're saying is AI literacy is something that becomes much more mainstream, a greater understanding through greater conversation about artificial intelligence during 2023. And I love this idea of the combination of different AI technologies as well, because I often talk about the combinational technologies that exist in our smart mobile devices, and it's exactly the same thing. These technologies are powerful on their own, but when you bring them together, there's a kind of almost an exponential impact, isn't there, on the ability, the potential of these technologies?
Exactly so. So what people often don't appreciate is first the impact of exponential trends, but secondly, when these exponential trends combine, and even sometimes an exponential trend combined with a linear trend can have an even bigger impact than the exponential trend alone. And you're quite right, the iPhone was successful not because it did one thing, but because it could combine multiple assets that Apple had already developed and which were also available on the wider ecosystem that Apple could combine together in imaginative and creative new ways. And so I think it's going to be the same. The industries, each industry, the companies that will be successful will be the ones who understand exponential trends, who are able to adapt in an agile way to surprises, and who are able to combine things together. And by the way, combination sometimes means missing things out as well. So as well as a positive combination, sometimes you need to be confident to give up on something which previously was vital to your self-conception as to the kinds of products you created. Maybe you can say, right, we're no longer going to have this feature. It's no longer important to be best in class here or somewhere else. So the agility to think creatively about additional features, but also missing features out and producing something new in a way that wasn't done before. That is what's going to distinguish, I think, the winners and the losers in the years ahead.
David, that's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Absolutely insightful as always. And thank you everyone for listening. Do let your friends and colleagues know about the Informing Choices mini pod, and there'll be another episode along very soon.